Hello, friends, and welcome back to r/IDontWorkHereLady. And our first story for today about Karen in the clothing store. Ladies thought I was Macy's in-house personal model. I was shopping at Macy's, picking up some work pants, and stopped in the Ralph Lauren section to browse for a minute before I left the store. As I'm looking at some shirts, I overhear two ladies nearby say, "He looks about his size." I knew they were going to ask me to try on the jacket, so prepared myself. I'm average build and 6 feet tall, so I guess that makes me a model. Me is me, L is ladies. L: "Hello, sir. I'm shopping for my grandson, and he's similar size to you. Can you try on these 2 sizes so I can see which one to buy? Sorry to bother you, but I'd really appreciate it." Me: "Sure." I tried on both sizes, and she asked if the jacket was nice was a young man. I told her yes, and she thanked me and went on her way. I was not bothered by this at all, and I've been asked many times while shopping for advice on clothes by women buying things for a man. A bitchy lady was also in the same section and assumed that I would give her the same service that I'd just given these nice ladies. She will be BL for bitchy lady. BL: "I'm also shopping for someone. Seeing as you're the model for everyone, put this on so I can see if I like it." "Sure, I'll throw it on for you," I say. I proceed to put it on so she can see, and I take it off. I was on my way out to begin with and wasn't planning on spending any more time there. I turned to leave, and the bitchy lady was not happy that I would not model more clothes for her. BL: "There's a few more items I need to see before you go." Sorry, but I was on my way out to begin with. I work in retail, so being polite is programmed into my brain. BL, with a look of shock on her face: "What do you mean? How am I supposed to know if the clothes I'm buying will fit the person?" "Do you know what size he is?" "Yeah, about your size." "Well, I wear a medium. Good luck." Kind of rude, don't you think? You look young and obviously don't have great manners. "Well, I don't work here. I'm sure there's someone here that can help you out." I proceed to walk off and hear her say "unbelievable" out loud. Made me chuckle. You know, it's never the younger people lacking in manners in these interactions. First class mix-up. So this story is different than the typical IDWHL encounter, but I think it still fits here. Years ago, I was living in a small city and needed to get a ride to the train station across town. This was before Uber and Lyft existed, so the quickest way to catch a cab from my apartment was to call one of the several car services that operated within the area. These companies had radio-dispatched fleets that mainly consisted of Lincoln Town Cars and Ford Crown Vics. I called up one company I'd used before named First Class Car Service and got a 10-minute ETA for a pickup, enough time to finish getting ready and head out. As I step outside, I immediately spot a dark red Crown Vic idling right in front of my building. Good timing, I thought. As I head to the car and open up the rear passenger side door, I lean in and say, "Hi, are you first class?" The driver whipped around like a deer in the headlights, froze, and stared at me with a look of shock and confusion. I said again, "Are you first class car service?" This time I could see him visibly relax a little, but before he said anything, I started to pick up on a few details about the car and the way the driver was dressed. Most notably, he was wearing a gun holster. I realized that this was not a cab, but an unmarked police vehicle. Turns out the guy froze, not just because I got the drop on him, but also because he was confused about who I was that knew he was a detective and why I was asking if he was a detective first class. Great. Once it clicked that I'd mistaken him for a car service, we had a laugh about it. I apologized and my real cab showed up a minute later. So yeah, thanks officer for not shooting me thinking you worked for a cab company. I love the fact that he whipped around so quick, probably thinking, "Crap, I left my badge on the dash. No, wait, it's probably my gun. Maybe this guy has secret intel on me. I need to figure a plan quick. Oh, wait, what? Oh, he had me confused with a taxi." Or something to that description. And our next story. Will you train your own replacement and make yourself obsolete? Of course I will. This happened some time ago, but I think it'll fit here. Actors, names changed, obviously. Bob, boss at the time, old, can't keep up with technology, but's been with the company for a long time, so he gets to be my boss. Hans, hero of the story, friend from school who works in the same company but in management but in a different department. Helped me get this job 4 years prior. Carolyn, coworker who is not the smartest tool in the shed but makes up for it with work ethic. Carl, normal coworker who has worked at company for 6 years and handles mostly the old clients' accounts. Has a family, very busy. Me. Well, me. Guy in late 20s, little geeky, likes computers. This was a small company, and our team of 3 were best described as tech support for our clients, but it went a bit further than that. I usually helped with setting up databases and also advised clients from time to time if they would benefit from upgrading their plan, etc. As normal with tech support, we got tickets from the clients and would work away at them one by one. I liked the challenging problems and usually tried to work hard at them. It just so happened that Carolyn liked the more standard problems and enjoyed doing something she already knew over something new every day. Nothing wrong with that. As you might imagine, we made a pretty good team and kind of had this unwritten rule who took which tickets. Win, win, win. Me, Carolyn, company, and client. Until we got a new boss, Bob. He immediately noticed that I was working far fewer tickets than Carolyn. I tried to explain to him how not every ticket is the same workload, but because he wasn't very tech savvy and didn't understand half the stuff I was doing, he didn't understand. Also, about a month later, we got a huge new client, and I spent a week on site setting up all the databases and stuff they needed. This drew down my month average ticket numbers even further. Duh. If Bob would have only had half a brain, he could have figured out why. Now came something I did not expect from Bob. He said we need more help on the team, and he was approved to hire a 4th member for our team. I was excited. We all were. We had this new huge client, and things were not yet running smoothly. And anyway, our company was expanding fast, so this actually made sense. He specifically asked me to basically do the recruiting process and to work the new guy in. He might have figured out that he did not have a clue what we were doing, I thought, which I was happy to do. That same night, Hans calls me, which is weird because Hans is not a caller, he's a texter. He basically said, you need to come over to my house tomorrow. I have some beers that need drinking. So the next day, I get to Hans' house, and we're just talking about normal stuff. We see each other maybe once a month and have a big overlapping friend pool. But this time it was just me and him drinking beers, no other friends around. After some beers, he mentioned that he'd just updated his resume the day before and that everyone should always have an updated resume on hand. Do you have an up-to-date resume, he asked? I felt this was a weird question, and I had an idea of where this was going. So I said, no, but should I? Is there something you know about that you want to tell me? Well, I'm just saying that everyone should have a resume ready. But of course I couldn't tell you if Bob's thinking about letting you go. But I also couldn't tell you if Bob is not thinking about letting you go. I thanked him very much for the beers and left shortly after that. So I know I'm getting fired, and I have the suspicion that Bob has just asked me to hire my own replacement and train him to do my job so he can take it. I fully comply with hiring a 4th member of the team, and also pick one best suited for what Bob wants, high ticket numbers. So I'm thinking, not so smart person with sloppy attitude that does not care if the customer is happy. After all, customer satisfaction was not important to Bob when he talked about my ticket numbers. I get right on it. Many people apply, some good ones, but I weed those out very quickly. Resumes with lots of spelling mistakes and little experience in the sector are the ones I invite for the interviews. The interview stage is trickier because now Bob and someone from HR is sitting in with me, but I'm still asking most of the questions and giving my opinions on the candidates. But because I weeded out the good ones when Bob makes a decision, he just chose the best of the worst. In my opinion, not even the best, because one applicant was actually quite good, but I asked him stupid questions that didn't even make sense, and when he couldn't answer them, it made him look really bad. Sorry, John. I advise one candidate he ends up picking because he'll work very fast and will get a lot of tickets done. At this point, I have another job lined up in 4 months, but I want to get fired by Bob to get some sweet severance pay. After 2 months of training Mr. New Guy, I've shown him just how to do the basic tickets, which he can do quite well, but fast, and makes a lot of mistakes with. I have let the hard ones slowly build up, and Carl notices as he would be the only one after my firing being able to handle them. I let him in on exactly what I was doing. As chance would have it, he'd just gotten an offer from another company, and since he also did not like Bob, He'd already decided that he would take the offer, but said he could sit on it a few weeks and time it with my firing for maximum destruction. Then I tell Bob I'm done working in the new guy, and a week later he tells me, sadly, he needs to let me go because my numbers had not gotten better. He actually used against me that I had not been doing that many tickets while I was training the new guy. How dumb can you even be, Bob? He also wished me a lot of luck in finding a new place to work at with my work ethic. This had been the day I was waiting for. I just thanked Bob and reminded him of the 4 months worth of severance I was owed now, and also 2 months worth of vacation I'd not taken and carried over and was now entitled to get paid out. As I'm heading out, I tell Carl what had just happened, and he opens his drawer with the signed 2-week notice and walks into Bob's office. My girlfriend had vacation time left, and we decided to leave for a 4-week holiday to New Zealand the next week. I proposed to her there. As the saying goes, spend 1/4 of your severance on the engagement ring. I started my new job 1 month after returning from NZ and even got a nice pay bump and a good boss. I made sure to thank Hans again, and he kept me in the loop on how my old department went down the drain very quickly and Bob was let go sometime later. When that happened, they actually approached me for taking his job, but I declined. That would have been the ultimate F you to him. About 5 years later, last year, I started a company together with Hans doing much of the same thing, but in a different city, and so far it's going really well. Hey guys, thank you for watching the video to the end, and I'll see you in the next one.